Hello and thank you for joining me on a very lovely day inside my garage. No, I am not making a Tai Lopez mock video. I am actually in my garage with my Aston Martin. But this car isn't important right now because we're going to be working on that car. Yeah, I bet you could tell from the title of the video. But yeah, we're going to be working on that car and giving it a little bit of an update. A much needed update for the new millennium. So, I know I was kind of intentionally vague. Don't hit it. All right, I was intentionally vague when talking about updating the car, but this is what I'm updating. This entire nasty mess. So, this car is an original 2000 model year car, and it came with an original 2000 model year infotainment system. I don't know why they thought this looked good, especially with this sunken in. This is actually an LCD monitor, but with this sunken in bezel, it almost looks like a CRT. You know, something from the 80s. You know, in the year 2000. You know, that kind of stuff. The reason why it's sunken in, actually, it's quite simple. Turn it on, and if you put it on, if you wait for it to turn on, yeah, Mercedes-Benz logo. You put it on tape, waiting for it. Do not become distracted from traffic by use of command. That's right. All right, so you put on tape, and that's on side 2. You can actually eject the tape, and look at that. So this tape is blank. It's completely blank, and that's for a reason. So put that tape back in, and that just slides in. Okay, so before I get too ahead of myself, the reason why that tape is blank is because I hardwired an auxiliary input into that tape deck. So I cut the wires that would usually go to the tape, I guess audio output on the board, and I put in a 3.5 millimeter jack, and I ran that to a Bluetooth receiver. So basically, I can, if I put it on tape, I can connect to the car via Bluetooth. Obviously, I can't make calls and whatever, but all my audio and stuff will be played through the sound system, and the quality is actually quite good. The issue that I'm having, well, the issue that I never really had this issue, but now that my viewers have been telling me this more and more, is that this thing looks freaking dated as hell. And I need something to update it just a little bit, just to make it look a little nicer. It can have the same functionality, but yeah, I just need it to look a little bit better, especially because this is the ultimate daily driver after all. So, a really good solution, and actually a relatively cheap solution, is to retrofit the newer, it's a 16:9 widescreen navigation system from a 2003. And I can only use a 2003 because this is a proprietary, it's called, the protocol is called D2B. And it has these optical, like fiber optic cables running through the car. It's like this really Star Trek type shit. It's not what you're gonna find in any of your old Hondas or whatever. Like it's really hard to do aftermarket for this car. You have to rewire the entire system. So in order for me to use something that can sort of have the factory look, I have to go with factory. So the 2003 is it's a 16:9 receiver. It has this nice. It looks nice. It doesn't look like it could be made today, but again, for the car, it's a hell of an upgrade, and it's cheap. So let me give you a look at what that looks like. So we go in my little cabinet here, and you see a bunch of parts. So here it is. This is it's a used unit from a 2003 S-Class, and you can see it has like a few, you know, scratches and whatever on the screen, but I hopefully the screen is still okay. I think this can just be sort of cleaned up and buffed out, but this already looks way better than that dated crap. And the finisher is right here. You have one piece right there, and I also got a new climate control, which is almost identical to the other climate control, but the buttons are just a little bit nicer, and they have these cool little chrome rings around them. So this is all going to be, this is all basically just going to be retrofit into that car right there. Now the reason why my car, it's a 2000 model, so 2000 to 2002 can only use the 2003, can only upgrade to this because of this reason right here. Now, if you take a look, see, these are the usual connectors. There's a power and data connectors. Right here, that connector, that is for the fiber optic connection. So the 2004 to 2006, they use a different protocol. It's called MOST. It's called the MOST, and that's actually what the Aston Martin uses. But the Aston Martin has actually does have fiber optic cable, and I bought a system for that too, but that's on a different video. Yeah, so the 2003 is the only year that used the old D2B system before they switched to MOST, and it also is the only year that has an auxiliary input. So I will be wiring in an auxiliary input and basically doing the same thing. The drawback to using this is that I didn't buy the navigation antenna, and I didn't buy, you need two things to do it. You need a navigation antenna, and you need a speed sensor adapter from this guy in Sweden. And I didn't buy those two things mainly because, like, let's face it, the navigation in this car is going to be complete dog shit. Like, it's going to be really, really bad. And the maps are outdated and whatever. I never use a nav in this car anyway. I don't want to spend money, you know, putting nav in. So I just, basically I'm just leaving that out. I can always upgrade, or I can make it like stock, but I mean, to be honest, the navigation in this car, it doesn't know where I am because I don't have that CD in the car. So I had the northeast region of America. So after I went down past North Carolina, it basically thought I fell off the edge of the earth. So that's, I'm not gonna care. I use Waze and Google Maps for all my stuff anyway. But without further ado, let's start taking this apart. So look at this carnage. Well, it's not really carnage, just a bunch of taking apart wires. So these are the optical cables, and you do not want to break these or kink these, because that'll be very, very no bueno if these break. But these are in good shape, and let's just tuck that in back there. Here are power cables and whatnot, and the Bluetooth thing. First, it goes into this adapter. It's a PAC. It's a 3.5 millimeter filter, and this is a noise filter. And this does really, really good work as far as getting all that alternator noise and grounding out and all that stuff. It's basically a ground loop isolator. So this goes into this little guy, and then that goes into this Bluetooth module down here. And this is a Kenevo BT45 something. I can't remember what it is. 450, or I might be screwing it up, but the link will be in the description for this particular thing, and it is universal. What I did is it usually works on a cigarette lighter 12 volt power source, but what I did is I just used the cigarette output, and I soldered and heat shrunk wires onto there. And yeah, I mean, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it will get the job done. So what we need to do now is, there are connectors here that I need to repin, and I believe this is one of them. It's called C1 and C2, and there's minor differences between that one and my new unit. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take, actually, if you look at the back of this, it's going to be a little bit hard to see. I'm trying not to scratch my leather here. See, I hardwired this, and there's a auxiliary output coming out from here. You can see I voided my warranty because I broke my first one. Yeah, that's how you learn. So I'm going to be hardwiring this into the my 2003 head unit. So let's see how that's done. All right, so here's where it gets a little bit more technical. Now I printed out this this diagram, this wiring diagram, to convert this COMAND 2.5 unit, which is my old one, to the newer one, which is, oddly enough, it's called COMAND 2.0. But it's called COMAND 2.0 MODF or something. There's a different designation, but it doesn't make sense why an upgrade would be from 2.5 to 2.0, but that's beside the point. So these are all the pinouts. And you see here a COMAND C1 connector and a COMAND C2 connector. C1 I'm not going to use because this was used for the European version, and you can see it's like TV audio and TV audio. This car doesn't have TV. Thank you very much, United States of America, but that was not an option that Mercedes of North America opted to put on their cars. Maybe it is in Canada, but not here. So I'm going to be screwing around with the C2 connector, and it's a 18-pin plug, and what I need to do is just move this pin and move 15 and 16. So 7, 15, and 16, and yeah, just basically I'm just going to repin it, and it's a little bit finicky, to be honest. I believe it's this one. No. Yes. No. It is. Oh, don't want to screw around with it too much. All right. So it is this one. Let me. Yeah, there we go. Getting it into focus, sort of. So I have. Yeah. I took out. There's like a little. This is hard to do with crappy light. Come on, focus. There we go. So there's a little pin right here, and it's like fighting me. So it's a little pin right there, and it's you have to push that down, and then this cartridge with all the wires just basically comes out. So you pull that cartridge out, and you can see all the pins. So what I'm going to do is I am going to press the bottom portion in, and that should allow it to kind of give it enough room to give the wire enough room to come out. And I'm just going to repin this harness. All I have to do is 3 wires, and hopefully this should all work. I won't be doing the auxiliary input right now. I just want to see if the thing fires up. Alright, I repinned those 3 wires. It was really hard to see, just because it's so such a finicky job. But it really is easy. All you have to do is put a flathead screwdriver or a pick inside this, and just pull the wire out and put it into its designated spot. I will put the diagram where I found the diagram on well, in the link in the description. But right now I'm going to put this all back together. I haven't put the auxiliary input yet. That is 3 wires that I have to wire in, but I just want to see if this thing works. So yeah, let me put it back together and get the new radio. Okay, so the new radio is in. It's not finalized or anything because I have to actually trim some of this with a Dremel, and that's going to be fun. But I'm really impatient. I can't, I have to check if this thing even works, and I can't really wait. So here goes nothing. Alright. Oh yeah. Nice. Alright. That's probably a copyright violation somewhere. Maybe is there a CD in here? Oh, there's a CD in here. Okay, all right. Who the hell did I buy this from? How do I take the CD out? Okay, right here. Let's see what sort of CD this is. All right, this is Donnie Mekenget e Zemris. I have no idea what language this is, but all right, cool. Free swag. The navigation is not going to work because it says please use a suitable Navi CD. All right, it's not going to work in any case because I don't have the navigation antenna, which I could get for like 12 bucks, but I don't think that there's a CD that even that is anywhere close to updated. So I don't think I'm going to use that. Telephone, not going to work, but then again, this car wasn't, in order to put Bluetooth, like actual Bluetooth in this car, it's going to cost me like $2,500. So I don't want to do that. And I'm going to have my Bluetooth system in there anyway. I don't really care if the car can tell me who's calling or not, because, you know, it always pauses the music anyway, and I use the music from my phone 95% of the time. FM AM. Alright, that works. That's fine. And if you go to service, auxiliary input, that should play the auxiliary input source. So yeah, there don't seem to be any dead pixels or anything. What's I wonder if there's any settings here. Settings, display, day or night, display button and light sensor. I don't know. It seems basically the same thing that this one was, but it looks a lot better. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this out and I'm going to Dremel these little tabbies, and we'll see if we can make this look a little bit more presentable.
Step on the land, I've got your hand, and now we're way down, fade out low. Was it your plan? Can't understand. I love the air you bring, everything. Under the sun, a fire is burning. You tell me to hold on.
Okay, this is going to require a little bit of cleanup on my part, but this is basically what you have to do. So you have to grind down this entire side. Well, both of the sides. The only way it's gonna actually hold in place is with these brackets back here. You don't actually need to put any bolts back here, but there are like little locating tabs right there, and these screws down here. So it should be pretty sturdy. Let's try it out. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Survey says almost. It's a little bit, need to trim a little more over here. I think we are good to go. All right, that's basically how it sits. It's nice and ooh, yeah, there we go. That's good, nice and flush with this this edge. And I think it's time start putting it back together. Oh, before I start putting it back together, I should probably mention that off camera I did some modifications, and this this connector, the C2 connector that we all know and love, now has an auxiliary input. So I did that by connecting. Again, it's by the pinout that's in the description. Yeah, I just basically connected the left, which is the black, the right, which is the red, and the ground, which is this the silvery looking thing. Just connected it to the corresponding pins. I just wired them in line. I didn't have to cut anything. I just soldered and heat shrunk. Put the whole shebang in here, and hopefully it should work. I have not tested it yet, but fingers crossed. I think it should be pretty good. But for now, I'm gonna put everything the way it should be, and yeah, we're gonna test it out.
Step on the land, I've got your hand, and now we're way down, fade out. No, was it your plan? Can't understand. I love the air you bring, everything. I'm in the sun, a fire is burning. You tell me to hold on tight. I wish that we could stay here forever. I wanna remember. Oh, the sight of you brings the fight in me, makes me wanna.
So here's something I missed. The climate control, it wasn't staying in there. I mean, it wasn't staying in there very well at all. It was kind of moving around a lot, and none of the tabs were broken, but there were tabs that were missing, and those tabs, they go right here. I took them off my my old one, so these are basically, if I don't lose them, okay, I'll get that one later. So these are tabs that just locate with the bolt, and I think they just go on like that. And the other one is right here. Let me try not to break it. These are kind of fragile. So this one goes in like so, like that. You can see part of it is already a little broken, but I think it should be fine with the bolt. So this theoretically should go in before this this ashtray. Okay, so there was a slight hiccup. Now this does look like the new climate control, but it is actually my old climate control, because I took the bezel and the buttons and the chrome surround trim. I took that off of the new one and put it on my old one. Reason being that this is the old one. Well, this is the new one. The LCD screen did not work, so it came dead on arrival from eBay. What do you know? It's not such a big deal. I mean, it cost me like 30 bucks, and if I were to just buy the trim, then that would have been 30 bucks by itself. So I got some snazzy new buttons, and there was nothing really wrong with my climate control in the first place. There's no added functionality. All the buttons are identical. Well, all the button functions are identical, but the way they look is a little bit more, a little bit better. The old buttons had this kind of concave Ford Taurus look to them, and the new ones look a little more upscale, if I do say so myself. So okay, so I'm gonna put this all back, and then we're gonna turn it on. All right, moment of truth. Climate control works, and this should, there we go. All right, so that works, but does our Bluetooth auxiliary input work? So it's on auxiliary audio source, and I'm gonna go into the Bluetooth settings on my phone, and right there, So we have the BTC 450. That's what it's called. It's the Kenevo BTC 450, and link will be in the description below. It's a really good system. And well, there's my Aston Martin, Elantra, and my mom's Kia Sportage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some music. Oh, the volume was down. There we go. All right. Not bad at all. Okay, that's enough. So it definitely works. Maybe I will get the navigation working. I don't know. I don't want to stare at this auxiliary audio source indicator the entire time. And another issue, well, I mean another gripe, is that as you can see, wood grain is 3 different shades. I do have a fix for that, because wood grain is 3 different shades, and 4 if you count this one. Actually, this one and this one might match, because they're from it's just stock. But what I'm going to do is have this all sent out for kind of a custom wood grain or custom finish. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but I think it should be a nice contrast to this black leather. But man, this is awesome. So this head unit cost me $100, including shipping. This cost me $30, which ended up not working, but I used the buttons anyway. And the Kenevo BTC 450, BT 450 or BTC, I can't remember now. That was around, I want to say $50 as well. So all in all, it's less than $200, and it's a really, really good upgrade. Well, guys, I am really happy with the way that turned out. Man, this is turning out to be a pretty simple build. I don't want to jinx myself, but yeah, I mean, less than $200, and I have overhauled at least the look of that really, really dated system. So I think the next time I'm going to be working on this car, it's going to be maybe more maintenance, and then I'm going to reveal a little bit of what I have in store, maybe the vinyl wrap color, maybe the wheels, and definitely the body kit. I think some of you already know what kind of body kit. It's just going to be an AMG body kit, but it has some unique touches, so stay tuned for that. But if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. If you didn't like the video, the dislike button is right there. The unsubscribe button is right there. I can't stop you from doing anything you want to do. I like to hear feedback, so if I'm doing something wrong, or if you like something, let me know in the comments. I am going to be putting everything I used in the description below, so you can check it out, buy it for yourself. If you like it, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you again next time.